There we go. Happy Friday, everybody. Life is good. Starting off with a hypnotism. No, I just got this sun catcher. I went to a bookstore that also has like crystals and they make these sun catchers, and it just really struck me. It's not my usual like bright yellow gold kind of color. It's not gold obviously, but I really liked it. So pretty things help us through hard times. There we go. Welcome, everybody. My name is Margaret Pinard. I'm a historical fiction and fantasy author and eclectic reader, and I'm here to report out on my winter curriculum activities. How did I do? And my spring quarter plans. So, preview of that. Now, winter was 2 months, February and March. And so spring is going to be April and May. We're going to do a quarter system for these second two, and then I think we'll do the whole summer, June, July, August, so we can include Agitation August. So, just setting up my year in sort of leaps and bounds to see what we want to do. But welcome. Yes, the planning. If you don't know about the trend, the personal curriculum trend is something that hit last fall, and it was basically people designing things that they wanted to study, mostly through books, also through podcasts and interviews and TV shows and real life experience. So with a combination of those, I think you do a very good job teaching yourself in life instead of being taught maybe the wrong things. Who knows about that? So I'm just going to say hi to the chat. And if you're new, you can introduce yourself and say hello to the chat as well. Julie was here early and is having a bit of brain fog. I'm so sorry, my friend. Yeah, it's about back pain. And I mentioned clothes moths because those have been haunting me for years. And now we just put a bug bomb in one room and there's still a surviving clothes moth, but I got it. I killed it. Julie's mentioning the tiny black bugs that hang out around food and plants. Those are hard to get rid of too. Catbot is here. Hello. Saying the sun is doing weird shit right now, which isn't helping. Yeah. I don't know what the sun is doing right now. It's Aries season. The full moon is waning. It's the 3rd of the month, so we had the full month on the 1st. Maybe it's still full moon season. So I don't know what the sun is doing, but I'm gonna catch some light with it with my sun catcher. So maybe I'll be able to hold on to some of its power. Yes, they are gnats, but I know. Oh, Julie's being very wise. I know that our ecosystems rely on insects. Yes, true. And then these guys were like, happy Friday. Yep, here at the desk, ready to work after this. And happy Friday. There's so much to be grateful for. I'm focusing on that. That's really nice. That's so pretty. Yep, pretty. Anita is here. Hello, friend. Oh, okay. So maybe it's like sun. What do they call those spots? Spots on the sun? I forget what those are. Anita is transitioning from a stress-filled few weeks to a quiet weekend. Well, that sounds delightful. So congratulations on getting through those stress-filled weeks. Oof. Yeah, banish that energy. Let's move on. I do have a question of the day. I think that's what Anita was answering. So my transition is from the March ending of winter to the April beginning of spring, and that's not a generally shared one, but it is my curriculum. You'll recognize the big red book, and what I put up here for the winter quarter is ending May 30th. Sorry, March 30th. There's 30 days in March. Yeah. And so I had my 3 goals, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm sorry, the lighting is not the best. I don't have any lighting on me in this corner, but yeah, we'll get there. So yeah, that's the question of the day to reflect on. What's your next goal on the horizon? And if you do have any questions, pop them in the chat. And if you put a Q in front, that'll remind me that we have questions to address. All right, so the winter report card. So last time, you may remember, I put it down in the video featured in the description. I did a report card for the fall curriculum and then set out my winter goals. And I was pretty hard on myself. And you guys were all like, well, what about this? What about this? And then I ended up being like, well, I guess I did better than I thought, which is a theme in my therapy sessions as well. So I don't know why I'm so hard on myself, but it's a pattern. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. And I'm gonna go through the winter quarter and trying to have a better outlook on this and remember things that I did do and congratulate myself on the effort. Because as JD Estrada reminds us, all we can control is what we do and what we put out in the world. We can't control the world. Yeah. Yes. Anita's reminding us. April is National Poetry Month, apparently in Canada as well as America. So a poem a day is the current goal. Ooh, we've got a poetry project. That's fun. I was just thinking back to when I was volunteering with the Mighty Blaze, and they were always trying to do like a poem a day feature in April. And there was one gal that headed that up, and she was powerhouse. Really, really good. I don't really do poetry stuff in April, so you'll have to find the other booktubers that do that. I will be stuck with the eclectic nonfiction and random other fiction. Okay, so the report card. Yes. All right, so my first goal up here. What am I? Is that better? There we go. First goal up here was social activism 2. So in the fall, I put down a social activism goal. And in the winter, I was continuing it because I had laid down a few foundations and I was really looking to experiment some more, but then start to decide which ones I liked that I wanted to invest more in. So my social activism goal up there, just turn it around here. I put YouTube community. So community activism includes YouTube online. And I hosted a readathon in February, the Black Author Tuber readathon. I had 6 new authors featured on my channel. I had 13 new books added to the sheet for the readathon for everyone to notice. I had 3 books by new authors read by me, which was great for my reading month. And then 1 new co-host. So Beth Ann Bruninga-Sokolar is a fellow booktuber and only on the reader side. And so she was having a grand old time reading some great books for the readathon. So I'd say that's definitely a success. That's something I try to do every year, but keep it low key so I don't get stressed out. And we succeeded. So that was the 5th year, and I think it just went off really well. So I'm glad I'm keeping up with it. I'm glad I'm still introducing new authors. I would love for people to, come to me and say, hey, can I be a guest on this next readathon? Because I'm an author tuber, Black author, have a channel, have a new book. I tried to ask some people about that this year, and they didn't respond. So maybe the tables will turn next year, and I will get people coming wanting to be featured. That would be great. So YouTube community is one half of it, and then in real life community. So I have IRL community, join in. And I had highlighted NET, which is like the search program for anyone who's outside the US. That means neighbors who respond to help neighbors in emergencies situations. So kind of like your citizen alert network, you get some basic trainings, you get some basic materials and a go bag, and can be deployed in emergencies. And we're all planning for the big earthquake in the Northwest, so that is on everyone's mind, but also smaller things are good to be prepared for. So there's NET. There's potlucks that I've been doing with my building. I live in like 13 different buildings in a little complex, and I've been trying to get to know just a few people better, and that has been going well since the fall. So we do potlucks every month. We're going to go to karaoke when I get back. I've been promised. Keeping up with my resilience group. So I have a network where I combine some of my network and my friend Leo combined some of his network. And so together we try to do monthly mending meetups, but also like every other month sort of brunches or potlucks. It varies. People have various scheduling needs, so it's a little bit of a moving target. But I did host Terminalia, which is a Roman holiday about celebrating good borders with your neighbors. And so I had 8 people gathered on February 28th, which is the border between the old Roman year and the new Roman year of March the 1st, Mars, god of war, right? So that was a great party. I almost had enough seats. I had 8 people in my apartment, and it was great. We had some good discussions and just, like, nice to hang out with people and know how they're doing. So resilience, good goal. And then finally, I just added on No Kings 3 because I did get to go to No Kings 3. I did it in San Luis rather than the Northwest because of my travel schedule. But it was fantastic. It was a very feel-good experience. The weather was perfect. It cooperated. It was a little hot last time. It was a lot easier to bear this time. The people they had in were not politicians. They changed their strategy. So they were all local community leaders. We had a teacher, we had a student at the college, we had a veteran who talked, we had someone from the Diversity Alliance. We had people who organized it from Indivisible and 50501. So no politicians. Then we had a little sidewalk march and an activity action alley, where all the organizations who wanted to and went through the process had tables where you could go up and talk to people. And of course, they didn't have a climate speaker, but they did have a climate table. So you know where I went. There you go. So that was fantastic. I thought it was really well organized and improved upon from last time. So no kings. The only notes I have on my social activism are maintaining old friendships can be a tricky thing. So I'm sort of lagging on that because of all the other things I'm trying to do presently. I just sort of keep missing the to-do list of like contact that person, set up a date while I'm here for a couple core relationships. And yeah, so lagging on that. Community meetings that I added on. So far, Strong Towns in my neighborhood and Net in my neighborhood seem like the best ones to stick with. That's the result. Plus volunteering with Taking Ownership, which is helping declutter and landscaping stuff for Black folks in historically Black neighborhoods to maintain ownership of their house rather than accrue fees for, nuisance or things that the city likes to lay fines on people for. So that probably like once a month or every other month when I'm up there. That's a great group of people. And then keeping up with resilience, keeping up with Uptown, keeping up with, the new one also falls into a different goal, and that is French conversation. So not a small amount of you out there in Booktube land, my fellow Booktubers, have said you'd love to practice your French. You know what? I found a group. So I had been bemoaning the lack of a French speaking opportunity for a long time, 3 or 4 years. And I was going to go to Alliance Française, but they charge to have a membership and then go to drop-in conversation. And I was like, well, I'll just try the meetup one once to see if anyone shows up, right? There's like 20 people there. It's in a cafe with coffee and pastries, and it's free. And there were speakers who were pretty fluent. And I was like, well, I have found my people. This is awesome. So I've gone twice so far. And when I go back, I'm just going to pick it up because this is going to get me ready for my trip back to Paris for a few days in September. I'm very excited about that. And just talk to other people in real life. Speaking in another language is inherently awkward sometimes. So it helps you get over the talking to strangers being awkward, which is great. So two songs with one bird. I can't remember what the nonviolent equivalent of that phrase is nowadays, but something like that. So that's community social activism in real life. And I think I'm going to give myself an A- in that category because the only point I was sort of feeling like I need to do better is the maintaining old friendships. One, I did keep up on it. And then there's like 2, I need to like do stuff to garden, to tend the garden, if you will. So A-. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that one. Oh, and yes, hi, Kat. Welcome. This is my area for filming while I'm here. This is my brother's old room. This is the unisex wallpaper that was chosen. These curtains are like fancy silk curtains, so they must have been added when my mom was using this room. They still have the glow in the dark stickers on the wallpaper border and the ceiling, which is amazing. But because the bed and the bookcase and all the other stuff that's sitting in here, this little corner cutout is really the only place I can film. The lighting's not great, but this is what we have. And what I was saying in the Voxer chat this morning was Bean was sitting right here, the only place that I've set up for filming. So yeah, he did vacate the seat. He finally had some of his breakfast. So we're good. We're good to go this morning. Oh, and Kat's got an answer for the question of the day. Transitioning my plants from inside to outside. Hopefully, yes, cross my fingers for your weather. We're getting another very mild, cool day. I'm in 3 layers here because someone told me not to bring a jacket. So all I have is like layered linen long sleeve shirts and my house like cardigan robe I can warm myself up in. But it's 61 outside, so but it'll warm up in the next couple days and then cool down. It's the Central Coast. This is what we do. Yes. So the Social Activism 2 class was rewarding and successful. Kappa is right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So 2 more for winter quarter. Writer life. And here's my writing update. So you heard on Wednesday that I did get my manuscript in by the March 30th deadline, which is amazing. What else do I have on here for the second goal? Writer life goal. The book, I'm just calling it Amelia because that's the main character. I did have to restart it because I had drafted it and then trying to edit it in February, March, July, and then just like couldn't deal anymore. So I put it down and I picked it up in February again. I had written journal before engaging and after. How is it different? I was trying to figure out like what is making this stick and repel, and I was trying to analyze my brain, right? So the only thing I could come up with was that I started with just a 20-minute session, like just do it a little bit, just try a little bit before you say you don't like it, right? And the thing is, the goal that really brought me back in is that I really want to publish every 2 years. And so if I don't have anything go out in 2 years, I feel like that's a fail, right? So we're really going to try to publish this. I don't know if I'm going to publish before or after the trip. There's pros and cons, which we'll get to later. But yeah, definitely this year. In order to do that, I said, let's try 3 or more sessions a week. And I looked back at my planner. I wrote down the sessions and then gave myself stickers in March. So in February, I had about 2 a week. And in March, I ramped up to 4 to 6 sessions a week in March. And that goes anywhere from like 20, 30 minutes to over an hour. And when I say writing sessions, not much of it was writing text. That wasn't until the very end, but editing, checking, researching, making consistent, changing the structure. Like it was a big structural edit. And then at the bottom, I put the cover done and editor booked. So of course the editor is booked. She's going to be working on my thing right now. But the cover was not. I could not concentrate on the cover issues at the same time as the writing because the writing was going to shape the feeling that I wanted the cover to have. So hopefully, as I said on Wednesday, I'll be able to pick up the cover design process where it left off, which was the first idea, and then I never responded to the designers. So hopefully they just stuck a pin in it and are waiting for me. So writer life, I'm gonna give myself an A-2 because like I got off my duff and finally like kicked out the work, which is good. It's timing, right? I didn't do it in the fall, didn't do it in the early winter. I just needed to set it as one of my main goals, and surprise, I don't let myself have any other distractions. So that was great. Yay! Yes, on the manuscript submission. Kat says, hope it doesn't get too cold there. I got the fan on for Franny, so she'll think I'm struggling. It's supposed to hit 80. Ooh, 80 in the middle of the country. Yay for manuscript. Yes. Oh, hands on yellow, heart red. Which one is this? Oh, that's this. That's cool. I like that emoji. Thank you. You were demonstrating the power of goal setting. Yeah, I find that it's sort of an ebb and flow. I've been really gung ho on goal setting, and then I've had it really not work at all and just felt worse because I didn't meet them. So, I mean, grain of salt, I would say. It can be a powerful motivating tool, but if it's not working for you, don't beat yourself up over it. Um, See what else needs tending is what my advice would be. All right, the last one I had here, and again, just like writing, it was one of the things I wanted to focus on and definitely get done because I bought the tickets for the flights. So travel planning. Now, you may or may not know, but I used to travel a lot, and I've cut way back since just before the pandemic. I think 2018 was the last big trip, and since then I've had one 22 24, definitely, maybe 2, 1 or 2 trips in the last 6 years because I'm worried about, climate emissions and flights and all that kind of stuff. So I've basically been going back and forth between California and Oregon and attending to family affairs, job things with family business, and being quietly at home. But every person reaches their limit, and I just really needed to get out and explore and travel. So I set myself a goal of planning new travel. I had taken new place for inspiration. So not just Scotland. That was basically my my impetus. Like I always want to go to Scotland, but if you go to Scotland, then you have little time to go anywhere else. And so I was trying to give myself like widen your vantage point, get some new inspiration. I was worried about having the cat sitting solved. So the last time I went, I only went for a week and it was not worth it to shorten the trip in order to come back for the cat, right? I had someone cat sitting, but I didn't want to burden them with over a week of cat sitting. And it just feels weird. So I wanted to get cat sitting squared away for a longer trip so that if I'm using those carbon credits to get across the ocean, I'm there for at least 2 weeks and, get to like settle in and adjust to the jet lag at least. So I have 2 people coming for a week each. So that's going to work out. Flights, trains, car booked. Flights are booked. The trains and car is not, but I'm going to have a car hire in Ireland for a few days and then a couple train rides in England. And that is TBD, which is coming up. But so that's working out. I explained this trip idea to my sister, and she was like, "Really? That sounds nice." So now my sister and brother-in-law are going to join me. We've all got the same flights worked out to a schedule. We'll have some time together, some time apart, and we're going to 3 different places. So very exciting. Lodgings booked. We do have lodgings booked for all the major places, except I still need my end when I'm on my own, a couple days in like Galway and a few days in England, but I haven't decided where. So read up on cultural landmarks. That is where I need to decide. And spoiler, next week, one of the streams is going to be presenting the case for which place should I go, because I've learned in my years of traveling that if I have 3 nights, it is better to go one place, stay there 3 nights, and explore different places around there than try to check out, check in, lug the stuff around, have a ride every time. I just want to put roots down for 3 days and walk around and maybe visit one place twice, like, oh my gosh, the luxury. So, yeah, I'm thinking about where to go, and I will be soliciting input next Friday on the live stream. So, in process. Travel planning goal is in process, but flights are booked, lodgings are booked, cat sitting is solved. It's a new place. It's 2 new places, but one has yet to be decided. And I am in process. I'm reading 2 of those huge guidebooks to see where I want to go, and so we'll be continuing this in the spring. I will say that. And then French, because one of the places we're going is Paris, which is not new, but it is a long time neglected. So that's what I was saying by social activism is also coming back in with travel planning, because going to the French conversation group is both community activism and brushing up for my my travel so that I can be a very useful travel guide instead of a totally useless one to my sister and brother-in-law. So that'll be fun. Hi, Ben. My phone is on 4%, swinging it to hit the like. Well, hopefully you have somewhere to plug in soon. I went on a little adventure and I told Ben about it, so that was kind of fun yesterday. Julie says, lol, hilarious and relatable. Yeah. Ben says, England, pick me. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to the north. I'm sort of competing with a couple places in the southwest, but I don't know. Birmingham sounds pretty fun too. So yeah, that would be within like spitting distance. So I can't think of it. That's fine. That's fine. You just sit with your tea or your coffee and drift, as I said. Okay. So travel planning, I guess I would give myself a B plus. So A minus, B plus. That's pretty good. That's a lot better than my fall report card, I will say. So I think that's, partly the fall sort of got me better prepared, and partly I realized I'm not going to be perfect. So how am I grading these? Like, it needs to be more taking everything into account. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. So, was there something in the middle that I was going to do? No, just checking with the chat. Okay. Birmingham's not that far, 90 minutes on a train, and I do a trip to see friends down there. And then Kepwa says, me neither, just plod on until done. Yeah. So it's not a natural transition, but because of my goal sort of transition, I was wondering if anyone else had like something that has popped up on their radar. Okay, so the spring quarter, here we go. So there's one hanger on, which I was just calling pre-gaming, because it is April 3rd and we are making our way through the taxes, but I put in here under my there we go. It's backwards. Right here is the pre-gaming. You can't read it, but I can't get it any closer because physics. Pre-gaming is finish the taxes. So we've been working on them for a week and made good progress. We still have some papers to chase down, some charges to challenge with Visa and such. So it's in process. So that's my pregame. That's not really a goal. That's just I have to finish it, and we're almost there. But the goals, we're going to start off with Writer Life 2. So Writer Life 1 went really well, A minus. We're going to continue that with next level, Writer Life 2, which is, instead of the editing process, sending it to the editor, we're doing the publication process. So that entails things like continue the cover design process, pick up where I left off, decide which platforms to sell direct from and which formats that requires. Pick the ISBNs, get ready for that, the ISBNs, make up the ad copy, the publicity copy, what's going to go on the back cover, what's going to go on the book listing description, stuff like that. Format, so that'll have to wait till May. When I get the edits back, I'll have to look at it and say, okay, are we in a good place to do the formatting? Because I don't want to format and have to move big parts around. That kind of defeats the purpose. But if the structure is sounding okay to the editor, then like we'll move forward with the formatting and the Scrivener. So there's that. Beta readers, I don't know what I'm going to do for beta readers at this point. You kind of have to juggle which aspects you want commentary on. So I think maybe depending on what I get back from my developmental editor, I'll focus on people who are more editorial-like or people who are more reader-like and can give more general public feedback. So we'll see. So 3 to 5 beta readers. Plan a campaign for social media, which means this now. This is what I've learned over 7 books. I got to make it interesting to me. The last time I did a social media campaign for ORLA, I put up really fun historical tidbits and dates and did fun little graphics. I did it on Instagram. I did it on the community tab, basically, I think. And Facebook is 2 years ago, still on Facebook. And I thought they were really cool. They went nowhere. But you know what? I'm so proud of those. And I'm going to do that again because that's my brand. Like, if you are interested in these forgotten moments in history, if you are intrigued by injustice and how people have fought it in the past and want to pick up tips, maybe that's what I'm here for. So there we go. Plan the social media campaign and dates. Proofreader. I've never engaged a proofreader before. I've had beta readers who acted as proofreaders and done it myself. So we're going to see what we do this time with proofreading. And then decide about the pre-order thing. Is it worth it? I've done pre-order a few times. There's never that many that get pre-ordered. It doesn't seem to make a difference to the bookstore or outlet that I choose in sales. So I'm not sure. This will depend on when I publish and whether pre-order is worth it. If you have thoughts on this, put it down below. I'm curious. So yeah, so maybe we just don't do that this time. So yeah, writer 2 is my first goal. It's the one in the middle. It's the one, oh, Jesus, I just hit myself in the head. It's the one in the middle here on the Winnie the Pooh. And then I just put like publication. I was trying to get all fancy with my green writing. I canvassed this house. I only brought a few markers with me. And what I could find was 2 highlighters that are very bright and 1 projector pen. You know what I'm talking about. The Vis-a-Vis, that's a projector pen. That's old school. It still works. So that's what I used for this page. So my mom gets hundreds and hundreds of Sharpies, but Sharpies are permanent markers, which means they bleed through. So I couldn't do that for this. And I like what I'm not a professional journaler like many of my Booktube friends have seen, but you know, it gives spring vibes. So that's what I'm looking for. So Writer Life 2, we'll see how that goes with the travel. Yeah. Okay. The next one then will be travel planning 2. Okay, right here. Travel planning 2. Here we go on the Winnie the Pooh paper, is going to include visa requirements. Okay, so some of you might have noticed that England has requirements to go places because of Brexit, which sucks. America now has visa requirements to go into the EU and England, which sucks. Like, what the hell is that? My sister told me that and I was like, come again? The stupidness of this country. Okay, so visa requirements are now a thing, even going to Europe and the UK. The car hire, so that's the second one. The England destination. So I may have 2, I may have 3 destinations for people to have input on next Friday's stream. I need to look more into the third one, but there's definitely 2 on there. And then decide if I publish before or after the trip. So the trip is 2 weeks in September, and I could either publish at the beginning of September after Agitation August and all of that activity, or at the beginning of October. So the pro and con is that, well, I could have lots of attention on the channel for Agitation August and then publish right away so that people don't forget about me in the month that I'm gone. But then I leave on the trip and I can't do much like collaboration or promotion on anyone's channels that I would probably try to arrange. So the other way is that if I publish in early October, I lose the momentum of people on the channel because there's a month that goes by. And like I could try posting from the trip, but I'm not a vlogger. I can't do that really easily and fast. So I'm not sure how that would blend because Agitation August is one topic, and then the trip is going to be another of like researching for the books. in the future. So they're kind of like don't go together. So I'm not sure if that really helps. But then if I did early October, I could be there for promotions and like set up things bam, bam, bam once I get back. So I got to decide that for the travel prep because that will play into my scheduling and planning. And then who to meet up with. So depending on which direction I get on the train for, I'm definitely going to set up like who's going to be available to meet me on a random weekday at the train station in the middle of X town, right? So that'll be a fun part. And I don't know, maybe I'll try drawing up a list of people and ask if they're available for next Friday, because that might influence my decisions. So that's travel prep 2. And like I said, spring quarter is April and May. So April, get the taxes done, go back to Portland. May, set up some of these things, get the edits back. Yes, it's going to be a busy time. It's going to be a busy time. So what I'm going to do for support is goal number 3, which is body, mind training. So, like spring training is what I thought of. Spring training is usually like for sports teams where they get in shape. I'm not going to be getting into great shape, but I'm going to be getting in some kind of shape. And if I'm doing body and mind training, I tell myself I will be better grounded and sustainably able to get these other 2 goals done. So I'm already doing daily walks. I'm already doing 20 miles a week as my goal, which I hit most weeks unless I'm driving 2 days out of the week. Therapy, either every week or every other week. We'll see when I get back. Daily journaling, morning and night. And then what I want to improve on to help with that grounding and sustainability is hikes per month, jogs per month, get back into jogging maybe if it doesn't hurt too much, karaoke per month because I sing and that makes me joyful, and I dance if I have a group to dance with and that makes me like joyful. So that's good. Declutter per week. So my space and my nesting tendencies have room to expand and open up rather than feeling totally cluttered. And then more plants and herbs. I actually just spotted a tiered shelf that's not being used in my parents' backyard. I may be taking them back with me because that would be a great way to host some more herbs and plants on the little patio space that I do have. So, body, mind training is the top one there with my fancy little curls and Winnie the Pooh. So, spring quarter, we've got pre-gaming, tax finish, period. Then we've got Rider Life 2, Travel Prep 2, and Body Mind Training. And I'm going to continue with the social activism pieces that I picked, but that's just going to go on the back burner in terms of priority. Body Mind Training will also include in real life community, obviously, because that's healthy mental health goals, right? But yeah, not focusing on putting out signals and putting out invitations, but rather like just maintaining. So what do you think? Is that doable? I've got my winter brambly hedge mug here. We are going into 1 week of no kitchen sink and still doing dishes in the bathroom or whatever. Out with the hose. Yeah. Kiana is here. Good morning. Hello. It's lovely to see you. And Dee Dee is here. Good morning. Hello from France. I think you missed it, Dee Dee, but I'm coming to Paris for a few days in September. So I'm like brushing up on my French with conversation groups. It's so fun. It's like nourishing. It's so nourishing. It feels so good. So, and I'm meeting great people, which is nice. Cat Paw says, well, the rest of the world have been required to visa to go to the USA. Yeah. Turnabout is fair play, right? But Brexit was a kick in the, I'm going to say nads. How about that? That's an interesting, I think, 90s term I'll bring out of retirement. And Kat says, get it. That's a lot of miles. And dancing is fun. Yes, I know. It's my preferred form. Snatch It. I think that is taking the snatched waist parlance of fitness universe and bringing it to the garden. Okay. All right. Kat, thank you. And get some balcony seasonings. What do you mean? This is intriguing. So far, I have done really well with one. I just blanked on the name. Not ambrosia. What are those big, huge bulbs that come out in Christmas? Not angelica. That's an umbelliferae. Anyway, they're bulbs and they flower during Christmas and they're beautiful. They don't smell, but they're beautiful. My mom loves them. I have one that's still alive, and I have a very well-functioning parsley plant that is still alive, or was when I left it a couple weeks ago. So I've got parsley. I don't have mint. I can't keep mint on my balcony. For some reason, everyone can grow mint in the Pacific Northwest but me. That's fine. I put wildflower seeds in, and it had been a few weeks, but they had not sprouted by the time I left, which is a little disappointing. I'll try again with the wildflowers. But, yeah, what do you mean by seasonings? Yes, Kappa's got it. Amaryllis, thank you. My amaryllis, it doesn't have a flower, obviously, but it's still like green. It's still got the leaves. Didi says, excellent, quand est-ce que tu arrives? Je crois que c'est le 18e septembre. So I was trying to remember, oh yeah, 20 years ago, this was a sort of a sketchy neighborhood, and maybe we don't stay by the Bois de Boulogne. It's like trying to inform my sister, let's move over this way. I think this would be a nice neighborhood, like the Butte Chaumont. So yeah, I was so excited about that. Okay, so Kat says, herbs, if you like. I like to dry them and put them in the coffee grinder for homegrown seasoning. Oh, so I have such an extensive spice cupboard right now. I could probably survive on the spices that I have for 3 years without growing anything. Also, I do not have a coffee grinder, so not going to be on my priority list, but I like the way you think. I want to use the fresh herbs. So yeah, I guess I could still call them seasonings. But usually people say herbs and seasonings like they're different things. One fresh, one dried. Anita says, Christmas cactus or poinsettia? Nope. Mom got it and Cat got it. Or no, Cat Paw. Yeah, Cat Paw got it at the same time. Amaryllis. Like from The Music Man. Does anyone know that reference? Cat says, mint smells nice. Hope the wildflowers come up well. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the birds are getting them. Hi, Gareth. I've already talked about the travel planning piece. Oh, shoot. I was going to use these banners to make it easier to timestamp, and I didn't use a single one. Well, there you go. There was the fast track tour. I will go back and timestamp tomorrow when the video has processed, so it's easier to find where I'm talking about what. But yeah, I was talking about travel planning, and that one of the upcoming events is soliciting input for where I go in England next Friday. So hopefully you guys will be there. Hello. I think this is Eva, Poetic POV. Nice to see that name for a change. That's nice. Gara says, I wish I caught yesterday's live stream, but I couldn't. Here now. I live stream Wednesday and Friday, so I think you mean 2 days ago. It was a wrap up of just 2 books. So yeah, not as maybe relevant as most. Didi's got advice. Okay. Le 18 Butte Chaumont, c'est sympa. Bois de Boulogne est toujours bizarre. Okay, good. So I've still got that. Basically, I was telling my sister that anywhere near the Boulevard Périphérique is like a little sketchy because my experience with, well, Porte de Champéret was not on the boulevard, but Porte de something with CH up in the north. I remember going there and having it be a little sketchy. So yeah, banners forgotten yet again. I know. I spent how many minutes going through those and making them this morning? Eva says, drop a book if you've watched without skipping on replay. Watch without skipping on. Oh, like skipping through timestamps. Nice. At any speed. I will accept any speed. That's perfect. Julie says, please practice self-care during this busy tax season, Margaret. I definitely am. Porte de Clignancourt. Look it up. Let me just. Clignancourt is one that I remember being like a no-no, like prostitutes alley kind of thing. But the one I'm thinking of, Porte de la Chapelle. No, that is in the north. Okay, maybe that is the one I'm thinking of. Porte de la Chapelle. That's the end of one of the metro lines, and I remember being told, like, don't go there at night. So anyway, we've got a place, and I'm pretty satisfied. It's pretty close to Denfert Rochereau, so like I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Definitely a no. All right. Well, when I get more of a itinerary, maybe I'll like run it by you, Dee. That would be appreciated if I can like get your nod or no, you in danger, girl. Like, no. That would be good. You're not wanting to pick up a friend? Wait, what? I missed this. What are we oh, I don't get it. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that is my winter report card. That is my spring preview. If you want to join me for any of these or share your own curriculum for spring, whichever months it encompasses, I welcome. Tag me in the description. I'll definitely check it out and watch your video. The only last thing to impart today is upcoming events. Next week, as I said, the Friday stream will be a little travel input planning. And then Wednesday is going to be some sort of, so I know poetry is a thing in April, but you know what else happens in April? Independent Bookstore Day. Booktube should be about Independent Bookstore Day. I make the whole month about it. So I think I'm going to be doing the If I Owned a Bookstore tag and nestle that in with the independent bookstore theme for the month, because I want people to know about it and celebrate their local indie bookstore, because they all need help fighting the gargantuan Megatron. Yes, I also have one planned for Earth Day. My planner is way over there. Earth Day is the 22nd. I think I'm doing my, look at that. That's weird. I'm doing my conversation with Alan about the songs of trees appropriately on Earth Day, but I think I'm going to do like a bigger thing about Earth Day, either the Friday before or the Friday after. It's in the plan because that's definitely important too. Yes. Which day is Independent Bookstore Day? April 25th. Thank you, Julie. Okay, so it's at the end of the month. It's always like the last Saturday, whatever. So yeah, I'm just going to try to get that in people's consciousnesses early so that they can plan, maybe do an event, maybe do a vlog, maybe just buy a book. I mean, it can be that easy. And then talk about it on your wrap up. Like, yes. Thank you, Julie. Yes. There's 1,000 things on my calendar that Saturday. So do it early. Do it early and bring up awareness. That's what I'm doing. And now there's a bookstore stuff. Well, that's great. That's great. Okay, we just passed up all my banners. This is what we just discussed, our coming attractions. So I'll end with this. Thank you for watching, everybody. Remember to diversify that reading list. Check out the different readathons that are happening that you can join in. Pages with Paige, Paige, is a great channel to look at all the readathons happening in April. But I will be focusing on Earth Climathon and Independent Bookstore Day and my curriculum plans. So, hey ho, here we go. Join me on the journey. Thanks, everyone, and happy reading. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again next week. Happy weekend.